Hello students, welcome to my class today. As we have already began the chapter 1, the political chapter. So today the chapter I'm going to repeat, especially the second part of this chapter. We have already completed a Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961, and then we have discussed about the how this Dowry Prohibition Act is actually prevented varieties of like a crime that was supposed to occur, and then somehow it is became more actually stronger in the year of 1981. So we have discussed about this one, and many a times these are the offenses that is actually committed due to the dowry is not provided. So here we can speak about. Okay, so today, instead of this Dowry Prohibition Act, we will go ahead with a subheading called Constitution and Meaning and Importance of this chapter. So here, what actually the Constitution? In fact, when we speak about the Constitution, you know, in any of the country, without the Constitution, without the guidebook, without the any direction, uh, country is not functioning. So everywhere needed some sort of like a rules and regulations to be to invigilate. Otherwise, the country will move towards the different like crisis or crime, and people will disobey, and people will not have any sort of like to things to follow up. So that's why here very important to have the constitution, and constitution is a kind of like a guidebook through which the country actually moves with that direction. So anyway, so what exactly the constitution? So the statement is goes this way: the constitution or a constitution is a set of like a written rules and a fundamental principles according to which a country is governed. So a constitution actually serves various purposes in a country. Now constitution is there, therefore the government is following up those footsteps, and then the country is actually towards the progress, towards the betterment. Otherwise, if the without the constitution, the government perhaps may lead according to their wish and will, and could have been taken place many like unfair means, and the common people could have suffered a lot. As today we can see that many of the government is coming into power, and then they are misusing it in some extent, and then when we ask them, then they are saying that they are following the constitution, but it is wrong. According to constitution, things are not followed sometimes. So that is also we have seen, and rather we have witnessed. So this constitution is a kind of like a guidelines, and then it outlines the laws to be followed in the country, and these rules actually define the fundamental nature of the society. For example, it determines whether a country should follow a particular religion or give equal importance to all religions in the country. So the constitution actually decides whether to have the religion, or if the religion is there, then everyone has to be followed their own religion, not to like a kind of like a interference, making interference in the religious matter by the other groups. So these are the things we can see today even in the country like our India. Here, for example, especially sometimes in the like any kind of like a chaos that is taking place, then here the religion is coming very soon, and in India this religious matter is very sensitive, and that's why it is the advantage for the political leaders to take any of the issue or any of the like a problem to create. They take first of all the religious matter, religious issue. So we can see very much a religious issue in India, uh, whatever the government is coming, and when we look at the this situation is created by the government, then here will come not the development. The development is not coming. Development is like a third step or the third like a plan, but the religious is more, because at many times when the government is bringing the issue, they will say that either they want to construct the temple, or they want to have the like a some sort of like a related with like a religious activities and festivals. So basically, the religion is a main issue in India, and people have not understood up to now. People have not understood. People have not educated their mind properly, and as a result of that, they are all actually engaged. And people of India is very much afraid of the means dying, especially human beings. Ultimately, when we are born, it is inevitable that we will die one day. It is not that God will save you, God will protect you. God is not going to save and protect us at any moment, because it is just psychological, a kind of like a comfort we are getting. Many of the religious leaders are actually giving us some sort of instructions, and those instructions are actually no use. Today, for example, have occurred earthquake. None of the religious leaders have protected any of the people from this sort of that the earthquake or the tsunami or the flood has occurred. Nobody. So that's why you don't go engage yourself to the too much of in the religious activities. Rather, you think how to protect ourselves from the this sort of like a problem crisis that is occurring in the coming forth moment or period. So that is the thing we have to think of. That's why in most of the country, abroad countries are, foreign countries are, actually they are thinking about the development. Yes, they have got their own issues, they have got their own problems, they have got their own shortcomings, and yet they focus on the development. And that's why today they are called a superpower. Today, for example, America is a called superpower, Russia is a superpower, Japan, or maybe the Poland or Israel, any of the country that is we can focus today, they are consider themselves like superpower, because they focus on the development, they focus on the development, they focus on the discovery, they focus on the inventions. They are not focusing on the religious problem and all much, because it is not going to serve any longer for you to develop. So today we are so much engaged, so much mad behind the religion, so much mad behind the this kind of like a issue, and then we are forgetting about our development. So today, students, as you go ahead with your life, you must focus on the development and think of the discovery, think of the inventions, so that you can do something good for the society. But suppose you are engaged yourself, after having grown yourself, after becoming adult, suppose you become just like a people who have already engaged themselves in the religion and have following and so much of like a crisis and fighting about the religion and all, it's not going to serve anything. So that is the thing we have to understand. So anyway, I'm bringing some of the this kind of problem, so that you should be aware about that. What is the disadvantage of so much of engaging ourselves in the religion? It is not going to serve. So we have to engage ourselves, through which we can be protected, we can be saved. So we have to look for the safeguard, not the safeguard of the constructing temple, church, mosque and all. It's not going to serve you any longer. So that's why. Okay, so so this particular constitution is actually helping people's people's this right, especially fundamental right that we have got. These are the things are protecting, and it is the protection for the society. So here we have to understand that it also actually establishes the rule of law in the country, rule of law in the country, and the rule of law refers to the supremacy of the law in the country, and this means that everyone in the country would have equal rights and protection by the law. So today, for example, we have the law set by the constitution, actually making us to protect, making us to help, and making us to be in order, and making us to be to focus towards our goal. So these are the things actually helping us. So therefore, the people actually, and also you see the people holding positions in the government would discharge their duties in accordance with the law, and they would also be answerable to the people in case they perform arbitrary actions. So here the law is meant for everyone else, and here the law is not only meant for the common people, poor people, downtrodden people, tribals, but it is meant for everyone else. So look for that, and also focus on that. So here the law also the legitimizes or justifies the policies and actions of the government. And for example, you can see the Constitution of India aims at establishing equality in the society by prohibiting discrimination, and then on the grounds of like a class, caste, gender, religion, place of birth. So in order to bring into effect the provisions of the Constitution of India, the government passed the Untouchability Act of 1955. Now you must remember, this act actually prohibited untouchability and outlined punishment for the violators of the law in the form of imprisonment and fine. So this untouchability, one of the like a social evil that is existing even today, is existing in spite of in spite of this law was actually passed in the year of 1955. So these are the all that we have to understand that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he has already experienced in his lifetime, and at many times he has been like a deprived of the such kind of opportunities that supposed to he get. And being a Dalits, being a like a low caste people, how this people are actually deprived of the opportunities, deprived of the their like chances, and not getting the this opportunity. So after the a lot of struggle, after the undergoing a lot of struggle, some people are coming up in a flying color. So for example, today Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he became the most like a most educated people, and he became the chairman of the this Indian Constitution. So it means you must remember that how a Dalits can become a founder or the father of the Constitution of India. So it is a very big things we can have proud of ourselves. So that's why the high class people, Brahmins, the high class people, are what they think about themselves. They think themselves are very wise, very intelligent, very much like a clean and pure. They are the only the people of God, and the rest of the people are not the human being. They are the animals. I think these people are cracked. In fact, they are very cracked. They have not understood about the human's intelligence. They have not understood that what human being can do. Is it not? So today, for example, we are born in this world. By all means, everyone else has given some sort of talents, and these talents nobody can hide. Nobody can make it closed. Is it not? So we can open up our talents, and so if anyone, whether poor or rich, anyone who will be getting the chances of studying, certainly they will do the something very extraordinary. So that is one of the things that we have to understand. So here doesn't make any sense about the high class people, low class people, middle class people. Nothing of that sort is going to work out. So this is the wrong conception that these Brahmins and the high class people were existed in the mind. Actually, they are the wrong people. They are the wrong people, thinking themselves very wise and depriving the others. It may say it is the a kind of like a slavery system they want to keep, and they want to keep the slavery system. Why? Because some people should serve them as like they are cook, as they are like a sweeper, as they are drain cleaner, cobbler, some sort of things. People should be like they are servants. That is the thing they wanted. Others, there is not a region that people see. These are the things are happening in other part of the world also, on the basis of like a color discrimination and all, like a USA, Africa. These are the part of the like a social evils that was actually existing. So today, for example, we are not a part of this system. We are trying to come out of this system, and then today we are very much aware. Today, because of the science and technology, has made the people more and more aware about the situation, about the planets, about the like space, about the whole world, about the cosmology, and so many things are occurring. So therefore, today we can't be like under someone else. Today we can be open up. Today we are free. Today we are. Today we can expose ourselves. today we can show our talents. So these are the things we have to keep in mind. So not the caste and religion, all this will be making us to be backward. Okay, so think of that very clearly. So this particular untouchability, this particular act was actually passed in the year of 1955, and this particular untouchability actually was one of the social evil that was actually experienced by our constitution, the founder, the father, Dr. V.R. Ambedkar, and that's why this particular part was actually also made an act to prevent the crimes. So this is why we have to understand. So these are the things. If anyone is a violating, it means anyone is a following up the untouchability. Yes, in some remote villages, in rural areas and all, yet today, even in the town city also, these are the things are still followed up. Still people are actually, when any other tribals or other caste of people, when they are visiting, they are just means after having departed those people, they are just sprinkling the some Ganga water and all, and then making the area pure. I don't know what type of mentality these people have got. How, it's like they can see that impurity has taken place in that area. They can see they are like a god. They are above gods. So I think we have to understand how this mentality people are possessing. So anyway, these are the things we have to understand. So students, again we will having the one part, that is the laws and dissent. So what is laws and dissent? Now dissent means, actually the dissent refers to having or expressing views that are actually different from those officially accepted in the society. It means you have the individual, like individual that views that you have got in your mind, and you are putting forward this particular views to show whether this can be useful, this can be harmful. So that is also shown. So this is why dissent is there. So here it is saying, so when the government passes a law, it may not serve the interests of all sections of the society. In such cases, the people at laws are empowered by the constitution to express their dissent, and they may demand the retraction, replacement or amendment of the concerned law. It is very natural. There is some of the people may not be accepting it. For some societies, for some groups, it may not be useful, it may not be suitable for them to follow up. So therefore, when you are not finding suitable, when you find difficult, when you find that something is hindering you, then certainly you have the right, or the constitution has given the right to amend it once again, or to replace it once again with some alternative laws. So that is actually spoken here. So the dissent is important in a country to bring about positive changes in the society, as well as in the policies and actions taken by the government. And so, however, in order to ensure peace and harmony in the society, it is important for the citizens to thoroughly analyze the actions undertaken by the government. So today, for example, when you look at the government's steps, when the government has brought the law, whether this law is how far is useful, how far it is taken care of the society, how far the people are benefiting from here, and whether this particular law is helping so much of people. Looking at this one, have to analyze very seriously, and if it is serving very nicely, then certainly we have to follow up. Not that according to Vision will we can change it or we can amend it, is it not? So we have to think of that. So therefore, it is not important that any of the law is all on a sudden have to follow that. But first of all, we have to check it whether this particular law is going to serve the society. If a few people suppose are unhappy with this law, it doesn't mean that the amendment should be taken, because it is serving to the other people, other part of the people, other groups of people, other communities. So that's why we have to check it up properly. And so here we can check also some of the other parts. So in the next class, student, I will be talking about the anti-Iraq movement. Now, what is the anti-Iraq movement. This part I will be talking about in the next class. So for today, you know about the constitution and meaning and importance of the constitution and laws and dissent. So you read through this page number 228 and 229. So and then make yourself acquainted with the different knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so thank you and have a great day ahead.